Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Today we're going to be listening to Raheel Bodla. He will be giving a keynote on growth of startups and businesses and small businesses. Raheel is a success coach who is based in Silicon Valley with over 20 years of experience. He coaches and serves business owners and startup founders to maximize their results. Initially, Raheel completed his undergrad in aerospace engineering and served in the Pakistani Air Force as a squadron leader for 10 years. He completed his master's in business management from MIT in a program that selects top 40 professionals from all around the world. As the global supply manager, he led $250 million Model X assembly line supply chain management and saved $11 million for the company. As a Tesla supplier, he grew a startup by four times from $4 million to $16 million. He loves to connect with others and help them in their businesses and personal success based on his learnings from Harvard, MIT, and the world's top success coaches. Raheel is passionate and effective in delivering successful results. So just to start off, Raheel, can you tell us about your journey through your career?
Thank you very much, Shams. To start with, I would thank you so much. It's such a great honor to be here with you guys, to be here with young entrepreneurs. I really love that. So this was something that I was excited to join with you. So all the young entrepreneurs from all over the world who participated in this hackathon, really impressive. Congratulations to all of you. And thank you for having me here. Let me share my screen. Okay, slideshow. So a little bit about my introduction, as you asked. So it is 20 years of work experience currently started with engineering in aerospace engineering, and that was back home in Pakistan, and serving in military in Pakistan Air Force for 10 years. And that was the time frame. It was more like soul searching, that I thought that I did not have a goal in my life. I did not know exactly what I wanted to do, what I was passionate about. So came up with the goal of studying in MIT Masters in Business Management program. It took me more than 5 years to get there, but eventually the dream came true. I got an opportunity to study with Harvard University for 2.5 years. And we lived in Montreal in Canada, in Toronto area in Canada. And once completed the MIT program, Tesla was actually partnered with the school. And they moved me and my family from Boston to the Silicon Valley in San Francisco Bay Area, where we are based since last 6 years. First 2 years was leading the Model X assembly line. I'm very fortunate to have that opportunity. And then for next 3 years, it was a startup. I joined a startup, but it was a Tesla supplier company, and we were selling to Tesla. And I was doing sales for 3 years. So something to share with all of you young entrepreneurs. The more diversity we have in our experience, that helps us in businesses, in startups. Like if it started with pure engineering, and then it was like different areas of management, like project management, operations management, supply chain management, logistics, Lean Six Sigma. So working through those and then purchasing, and finally 3 years in sales. So I think that I would say these 3 years in sales was a very transformative time for me to learn a lot, because engineering is the analytical, going in depth, and then management gives us the breadth, and sales is more like how do we connect with, like how to balance that supply and demand, and how to actually have that traction for our startups. So that's what I could I was lucky that to grow that company sales from $4 million to $16 million. And throughout this journey of 20 years, I was receiving coaching from my coaches, and I was coaching others. So it was a journey of coaching. It was a journey of my passion, a journey of coaching. And what gives me fulfillment is to serve humanity, to help people, to help those businesses and startups that I'm helping professionally. So if we have a passion, we can connect and convert that passion into a profession as well. So that would be a message for you. So as soon as I got an opportunity, I left that high paying, amazing executive job. And that's what I do full time, coaching startups and businesses all over the world. And that's what I've been doing full time for last 1.5 years. So does that answer the question you asked?
It does, yeah. Thank you so much for that. I think that gives a really good insight into what exactly you do. 1 second, let me just quickly check if there's any questions on through Facebook.
Yes, I think there were some comments coming that I couldn't see being on the slideshow.
No, I don't think there were any, but what areas do you work on when you're working with startups?
Yes, especially for growing the startups. We work together. So I work with them, we team up, and we work a lot in the mindset, because it's like literally it's 80% of mindset and 20% of strategies what are needed. So because whenever there is a will, there is a way. And the will is 80%. That's the mindset. And the way is actually the strategies, which is 20%. So the way it happens is like a startup or a small business, or all the business leaders all over the world that I've had an opportunity to serve. We connect together, we have a meeting, we see on both sides if there's a fit for what they're looking for. Do they believe in coaching? Do they have a growth mindset? That's how we connect. And if the connection is there, we just start working. It's a monthly subscription model, like in month to month. So very easy. We work in 7 dimensions of business, in 7 dimensions of the startup that the startup is going through. If we do not have an MVP ready right now, or what's the startup? Is that a product or a service? If that's a product, then what's the plan for the MVP? And if it's a service, how we are doing that? So essentially, in the first dimension, which is the business map, where we are today to where we want to go in terms of our business, how do we plan that? That's the first dimension that we work on. And the second one, innovation, like how our startup is different from the other startup, how our business is different from the other businesses in the industry. And then marketing and sales, operations, finance, and customer success. So these are the 7 dimensions that we work together and work a lot in mindset and strategies. Like some of the feedback that I got was that, like a startup, because like there's a thin financial bandwidth many of the time. So the feedback, a positive feedback that I receive from startups is that they say like, we could not have a person like yourself on our team full time, but it really helps because you're coaching us and we are having that 1 hour weekly meeting every week, and you're part of the team and you're guiding us, because my area is business and coaching. And the other people, like young entrepreneurs like yourself, they're highly skilled in their domain expertise. So domain is their area. It could be like which area in high tech we are doing that startup, or which particular industry. So that's how we team up together, and that's how we work together. And step by step, in all these 7 dimensions, we grow our startup to step by steps to the next level.
Okay, for sure. Thank you so much for that insight again. What kind of business leaders have you served throughout your career?
Especially in last 1.5 year as full time. So I have had an opportunity to serve business leaders in 7 countries, which is US, Canada, Dubai, Saudi, Pakistan, China, Singapore. And these are like, at the bottom, you will see those businesses, like a lot of those small businesses. And here at like all of these, the logos, the popular ones, the big companies. Like many of the time, the people are working in their comfortable, amazing, high-paying jobs, and they're planning for a startup, and they're working on a startup on the side, and they're waiting for the time. Okay, when would be the time ready to jump the ship and take it to the next level? So that's how we work together and help them to be ready and before they pull the trigger. So that's how we have been working.
Gotcha. That's incredible. If anybody has any questions, if you're on Facebook or if you're
and take it to the next level. So that's how we work together and help them to be ready.
if anybody has any questions, if you're on Facebook or if you're watching this through Zoom, please feel free to, if you're watching on Zoom, you can unmute yourself or you can ask through the chat. We'll give a second in case anybody has anything that they would like to add. Raheel, was there anything else you would like to elaborate on in the meantime if somebody's writing?
Yes. What is helpful is the work with the startups. We try to understand the startup founder, who that person is, what their profile is, what their personality is, like what are their strengths and weaknesses in terms of like what is something that they're really passionate about. Because understanding that passion is so important, because like the medium for success, the medium for us to take to the next level is the emotions. How much emotions do we have in something that particularly that we are doing? Like how much skin do we have in the game? And the skin comes through those emotions. So for me, for us in that team, it's very important to understand like what is that startup founder passionate about. Is that exactly that startup idea that he or she is working on? And then once we understand that passion is step number one. It has to get to the level of effectiveness. And effectiveness means that, okay, if I'm Shams, then it's not about me telling myself that how amazing I am. It's about others connecting with me and letting me know that this is effective in the work. The results, my startup and the product or service that I have, people have used it and they got some results out of it. They got some results, and that is effectiveness. It's effective for people. And the third level is to push that passion and effectiveness through sustainability, so that people are able to pay us in an area that we are passionate and effective at doing. So that is a message that I would like to share with our audience: passion, effectiveness, and sustainability. So these are the areas and steps that we work on with the startups.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. It doesn't seem like there were any questions. However, I really do appreciate your time. Thank you so much. If there's a contact information, could you
Yes.
write it in the chat, and I can put it in our Hack Slack. I can also, if it's okay with you, I could post it on Facebook.
Absolutely. Please post it everywhere. And let me share here on the screen as well so people can see. I'm very active on LinkedIn, but otherwise, like send me a text or email. That's the same cell phone number that I have on, and that's the same on WhatsApp as well, because globally, some of the leaders, they use WhatsApp. On LinkedIn, I'm active, not so much on Facebook, but still, I mean, whichever way or you find it easy, let's get connected.
Sounds good. Jazakallah khairan. I really do appreciate your time, Raheel. We will definitely be connecting with you further. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.